cat in the wall, eh? Okay, now you're talking my language.
You ever drunk Baileys from a shoe?
Right, welcome into the View from C-Deck. I'm just Matt, and this is the Direwolf. You can say hi, Direwolf, real quick.
I'm the Direwolf.
And we are Nostradamus. After last week, we both predicted the same score, 31-13, as the Buckeyes went into Champaign, and we got the spread, the difference exactly right at 18, almost got the score exactly right. So feeling pretty good, and we're ready to break down what happened there in Illinois, and then we'll preview Wisconsin and the barely fighting Luke Fickles as we head into Madison, which is usually a dangerous trip, does not feel so dangerous right now, which could be dangerous. Who knows? And then we're also going to talk a little bit about the team as a whole halfway through the season, since we're at the midway point already. Direwolf, man, season goes too fast.
I know. It's like, can't wait for it to get here, and then it's already halfway over. Sad. Well, less than halfway if we go everywhere we're supposed to go.
Yeah, I guess we do have a long way to go if we reach all of our goals, but could have 10 more games. But for now, we only have 6, guaranteed. But we move one step closer to attaining those goals, beating a ranked Illini team, covering the spread pretty easily, 34-16, 18-point win. Control the game really the whole time. Like, we were never threatened of losing, but a lot of people are pretty unhappy with the performance for various reasons. The first half, probably the offense with the red zone issues coming back again. Second half, the defense shows some warts a little bit, but it's under some unique circumstances, I think, that I don't think really tell us a lot. Although Bret Bielema thought it did, and we'll talk about that later too, thinking they found some sort of magic potion against us that I think is fool's gold if somebody wants to try and do that and get their offense off the field fast. But we'll start talking about the offense. Julian saying very efficient, 19 for 27 for 2 touchdowns, only 166 yards, but we were not airing the ball deep at all, pretty much. What do you think of the game plan as a whole there, especially as it relates to the passing game?
Yeah, I mean, if we're being honest, I feel like it was a little bit predictable. Reading through the tea leaves, I mean, he said a lot of the same stuff, very similar things that he did prior to the Washington game.
Mm-hmm.
And it reminded me a lot of that. I mean, you could argue it's the hardest opponent we've played so far. I mean, now you could say Texas, but because they just beat Oklahoma. So I was expecting basically the same style of game that was Washington, and it pretty much was. But then, yeah, when we were struggling to run the ball, I thought he might have switched it up and gotten a little bit more aggressive because Bo was a little bit banged up and we weren't getting as much push. So I was thinking we'd throw it a little bit more once that wasn't, flowing as well as we would hope. But all in all, I wasn't shocked by the game plan.
Yeah, the game plan, like you said, is pretty predictable. That seems like what he wants to do, what Day wants to do, and maybe Hartline as a byproduct, we don't know, is that he wants to get a lead, and then he wants to sit on that lead, and he's going to try to run the ball, maybe to our detriment. Doesn't want to take risky passes, especially when we get to the red zone. Again, we have issues in the red zone, and we ran the ball, like the first 6 plays we had in the red zone, we ran the ball or something insane like that, or like 7 of our first 8 plays. And we struggle and kick a field goal the first time down there. We do end up punching it in the second time, barely. CJ Donaldson's still not my favorite. They love him in the short yardage. They love him. And he does seem to have some success. Obviously, he's got a bunch of touchdowns this year, but it's by the hair of his chin, it feels like every time. And he runs so high, he's never pushing the guy unless he gets pushed.
Yeah, it's so frustrating because it's like multiple drives. We just are going right down the field, mostly success with passing the ball. And then we get to the red zone and we tighten up and we go run, pass, and it just doesn't work. Why don't we keep throwing down there? I mean, you can use all those freaking tight ends. We love bringing in 3 tight ends in the short yardage packages. So throw to them. I'm sick of Donaldson getting the ball. I know Bo was hurt, so he probably got more carries than he normally would have, most likely. But then it works. He's scoring, so it's like in Day's eyes, it's like, well, he's getting touchdowns. But pretty much we probably have 4 running backs on the team that could score touchdowns down there.
Yeah, maybe, because here's our number 3 and 4 running backs combined for 8 carries and 11 yards and average 1.4 and 1.3 yards per carry respectively. So, maybe that is what we got. My theory on it. I say it every time. I'll say it again until I'm blue in the face. Without a running threat at quarterback, it is hard to run the ball primarily out of shotgun. We do run the ball under center a lot more now than we ever have, but the plays are pretty predictable and repetitive. It's I think there's a little Jim Tressel in old Brian Hartline there, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he just doesn't. I feel like he doesn't want to be the reason why we lose a game. So it's like we get these leads, like you mentioned, and they're not going to. Once we're up 20-0, the game was over.
Yes.
Unless you just start turning it over like crazy or something.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't want to crap on him too much because, like I said, the low average for like Isaiah West, he came in when we were just trying to kill the clock, and Illinois knew it. We ran the ball 3 straight plays to him and got 4 yards out of it. Jeremiah Smith also had some like back tightness, so that may have also prevented us from like going deep. If he's hurt, that's bad. If he has to sit next week versus Wisconsin, I'm okay with it. Anybody that's banged up, I'm okay with it. Not to overlook them totally, but I don't think he will because he's a tough guy and he wants to be out there and he wants to put up stats. But just something to monitor with him and Bo being banged up. That could be why we lacked explosiveness and creativity because you got different guys in there. One thing I'll say though, we keep talking about all these tight end, double tight end sets or whatever. Brandon Ennis is our 3rd receiver. He's not bringing much to the table, I don't think. Like you might, if you want him to block, just put another tight end out there, like we keep doing. But I'd like to see some more spread out offenses, giving Mylan Graham a chance, especially is what I want to see. But also Quincy Porter. Like, let's get our more explosive athletes out there and see if we can really torch people. Or maybe we're just saving. But I'd like to see it in the game a little bit before we go play Penn State or Michigan. And we know what's going on in Penn State now, but still something I would like to see before that.
And maybe he will this weekend against Wisconsin because, like I mentioned, Illinois and Washington were very similar coach speak from day, and because it was, both of those are tough places to play. Wisconsin, not so much. Historically a tough place to play, but not this year's team. And he was more willing to air it out against Minnesota, who he probably knew we were going to smoke. So maybe we will see more of that on this upcoming game.
Yeah. And the other line they look pretty good to me. I mean, even in the run blocking, like there's holes there. There's not always, they're closing fast because, like I said, the lack of threat of one, the play recognition is easy because we're running the ball out of certain formations and certain actions, pre-snap actions that are kind of predictable at this point. But we could change it up a little bit. But they are not giving up pressures to say Zan's not getting sacked. He's not getting pressured much. I can't hate on the O-line. I'm actually going to compliment them. Defensively, we got to talk about these studs. The first half was, in the old words of Bret Bielema, borderline erotic. Interception on the first possession, off a tip pass for Peyton Pierce. We get a strip. We had forced 2 fumbles in the game. When's the last time we recovered 2 fumbles in a game?
I have no idea. Probably. I don't know. I mean, our defenses before last year haven't been great. So it might have been like
a lot of turnovers. Yeah,
might have been like freaking 19.
probably 19 with Chase Young was strip sacking everybody. Yeah. I'm sure we had to. Probably against Wisconsin, actually. I think we did at home in that game, if I remember. With his 4 sacks, he had a couple strips.
Or Penn State.
Yeah. Now, the first half was just dominance, though. Until like the last drive where Illinois gets the field goal, we're playing a little bit soft. The D-line not getting home that much with 4 rushers, but they're getting home in general. Arvell Reese was all over the damn place. He could be a finalist for the Buckeyes. There's a lot of good linebackers out there this year in games I've watched. LSU's got one that's really good. They got some good ones out there, but man, he is all over the damn field. 1.5 sacks, 9 tackles, sideline to sideline. He's making tackles everywhere, every level of the defense.
Yeah, and even when he wasn't making tackles, he was just being disruptive. Pressures, making them change the angle of his throw and stuff like that. He was doing everything.
got held on like their longest run of the day that somehow didn't get called to.
Yes, I was screaming at it. I know exactly what you're talking about. They never call holding ever, but we can't complain too much because Iggy got away with at least 3 PIs. I mean, that was bad.
Iggy, they were throwing at him, and they were throwing at. We did not have Lorenzo Styles Jr. either, who's been really good this year. So he starts the true freshman Devin Sanchez. They targeted him a lot. He wasn't horrible, but they had success targeting him.
He gave up the 1 touchdown.
Yeah, he got smoked on touchdown, and he also had a couple like slants hit on him on like third downs too. They kept throwing at him, but they were throwing at Iggy a lot on fades and things that they know he likes to PI, and he got away with a lot of them. He got caught once, right? Only got caught once.
He got caught once, and it makes me nervous because then after the game he was all cocky, like "Don't throw at me." Then, and it's like
four PBUs, which is a very good game, but they were all the PBUs were this close to being a PI.
Yeah, so I hope they see that on film, the coaches, and be like, "You got to stop this shit."
Well, he's been doing it for 3 years here now, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, he had only gotten like 1 penalty this whole year before this game. I thought he had kind of gotten it fixed, and then he's starting to just he's getting too cute.
This is the best team at throwing the kinds of passes that give him issues. Yeah. Allmeier's the type of quarterback that is going to throw the back shoulder stuff. We really haven't played anybody like that. We played good quarterbacks and good passing offenses, but they're all a lot of RPO stuff that's want to attack more of the middle of the field than like fades down the sideline. So he hasn't played an offense that can exploit him. But he might not again until the playoffs too. Or I guess Big Ten championship against Indiana.
Yeah, I was going to say we're not going to play an offense like that again until postseason.
Yeah. I mean, UCLA suddenly looks like a juggernaut. Who knows? But that'll put a bow, I guess, on that game. I mean, special teams also not special. Punting the ball into the freaking end zone again from the 40. Our punting game stinks. Our punt return is meh. I mean, like Ennis has okay average right now, but I wouldn't be worried about it if I was playing against him. Is there anything we're actually good at?
We forced a punter to kneel the ball down.
Yes. Bad snap by them. It's funny watching that bad snap. We may have talked this in the preseason. I watched the 2002 Washington State game, and we basically won. Obviously part of the national championship season, and we win that game comfortably, 25-7. It's almost solely because of bad snaps by their long snapper, and just made me think about it. Like there were like 4 bad snaps in that game where they end up getting a kick blocked. They miss like an extra point. They don't even get a field goal off, and they had like another punt almost blocked. I don't know. It was insane. Or went over the punter's head, maybe.
That was 02, you said?
02, of course, the championship season.
Yeah.
And Clark goes nuts in the second half of that game, even after doing nothing in the first half. All right, but speaking of teams that can't do anything, now we go to Wisconsin. And our friend Luke Fickell, who is not the first Big Ten coach to be fired officially, he's not the second Big Ten coach to be fired officially already. He will be third at some point this year. He will be third because their next 5 games are tough, and they're already just getting demolished. Lost 37-0 to Iowa. Was that at home too? I believe it was last week.
I don't know if it was at. I don't know.
We'll just say it was, and it doesn't matter. 37-0 is 37-0. Their offense stinks. Their quarterback got hurt again, like the first game of the year. Their defense is not a typical Wisconsin defense. They're getting their doors blown off. They're now at 2-4, and now they're 26.5-point underdogs at home. That's probably a high for them for a long time. It's 3:30 kick, so they're not getting the night game to like get a little extra amped. We've had a lot of losses there, although not in the last like 15 years. We've owned them. The talent discrepancy has always been a problem. It's going to be an even bigger problem with their quarterback play against this defense. I don't even want. I mean, what's the over/under on this one?
Like 41. So they're thinking it's going to be 37-7. I think something like.
Yeah, that a little bit.
Or no, 34-7. 34-7.
Yeah, that's right. 34-7, which sounds about right. I feel like
I know.
I thought 11 Warriors always put. Where does 11 Warriors get their odds? Because it's always like 2 points higher than anywhere I look. I say we're 20. Like I said, we're 20.5 point favorites. I'm like, I got the open here on ESPN bet at 26.5. It's still at 26.5.
Yeah, I know. I saw that too, and then I saw somewhere it was maybe FanDuel was 27.5. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's still so close. 28.5. I would like. Is it like? We're going to probably be a little bit conservative again. We got the bye week after that and then Penn State. We got a little bit of injuries. Guys nicked up a bit. We looked a little tired at the end of the Illinois game. This is not a whip game, as I call them, like games where you need the A+, like you try to force the A+ game out of your guys during the week. That's not what this is. And I don't think there's any reason to do it. And Wisconsin got embarrassed last week. If they have any pride left, they're going to throw their best shot at us in the first half, especially until things start going wrong again, and then they're probably going to quit again like they just did last week. Fickle's coaching for his job. I mean, if he gets blown out here, they may just go ahead and say, you know what, let's move on. Or, I mean, with Franklin getting fired, there's a big job open now. UCLA is not the smallest job, though. If Neuheisel keeps coaching like he is there, they'll probably just hire him. But big jobs open now. You know, you don't want to necessarily have an opening if there's a bunch of big jobs open, and there's a good chance Florida fires Napier. There's a lot of coaches. I mean, a lot of coaches have been fired already. It might not be a great year for them to fire Fickle, but I feel like they have to move on. And if they lose 5-6 in a row, they have to do it.
Yeah, and I mean that would be kind of messed up if they fired him after losing to us, because of course they're not going to beat us. But you're right. I mean, last week was terrible. I'm thinking they might not even score a touchdown on us, but I mean that's what all signs point to. So then of course the opposite will happen. But I'm thinking they only get like 3 points on us. I looked, they literally have like an Iowa offense over the past couple of years when I was always betting the under. That's them this year. They have the 5th worst points per game in the entire FBS. They're like, it was like 12, I think, or something like that.
That's got to be They scored 42 against Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
That game's down. Middle Tennessee is like the worst team, one of the bottom 10 teams in college football right now.
And the most they've scored against a Power 4 team was freaking Alabama, and it was 14.
Last 4 games, 14 against Bama, 10 against Maryland, 10 against Michigan, 0 against Iowa. Ouch. They're not, I mean,
and we have a better
– that offense is not beating us. You know, my 100% chances, there's a 100% game right here.
And that's why I think maybe he does air it out. Give him a chance, because we haven't tried it on the road. He's going to have to, like, learn how to air it out on the road, because our toughest game of the season's on the road.
It is. Yeah, their quarterback has O'Neal 5 touchdowns and 5 picks on 85 throws. Terrible. 640 yards. That's their number. I mean, he's not their number one quarterback. Their quarterback got hurt. Top running back has only 286 yards on the season. Top receiver, Anthony's 274 is not terrible for a receiver in this offense. He's definitely a number one guy. He had 3 catches for 16 yards last week against Iowa. They were able to shut him down easily. We should be able to shut him down easily. And then their defense they're getting tired. They're not great to begin with. They're giving up points against good teams. It's going to get ugly. I mean, they can maybe hold us to like 31 though, 34, same as Illinois if we decide to like take the foot off the gas. But their offense is so bad, and they could just be our defense is actually explosive this year, making explosive plays.
Yeah. I mean, if they do what I think they're going to do, or I hope they're going to do, and let them air it out, I mean, it could get real ugly, like 49-0 or something. But it's probably going to be somewhere in the middle. I don't see it being as conservative as Illinois. So, you know, the only way I see them scoring a touchdown, though, is if we do turn it over, or if we have a screw up on special teams, which is maybe the more likely scenario that could happen with this team. But, you know, I see us covering the spread pretty easily, honestly.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and put it out there. I'll say it's a 41 2-3 game, just like Minnesota. I wanted to say, like I said, I wanted to pick Wisconsin here, but man, it's just a bad matchup for them. If we come out we're going to have to come out super flat for it to be less than 20 points for us to be under the spread, I think. But it's possible. It's possible.
Yeah, I'm going to say, what's the over under 41?
41. Under for sure for you. I'm right on the over. I kind of hate that now. I'm going to say 37-3, so we're under.
I'm going to say the over and say 45-3.
Oof. So it just depends on. I mean, this is a game that Ryan can name a score. Like, this is how bad Wisconsin. It's crazy. Remember all these years in a row we were playing them in the Big Ten championship. It felt like every year.
Oh yeah,
games, and now they are just like, I feel bad for Fickle. It was a terrible choice. He basically passed up Notre Dame for Wisconsin, which was just bad career move by him. And then he tried to change the culture, and it just is not working out whatsoever. Can't get the athletes there to run a spread. It's just nobody thinks about it that way, and then now they're just not good at anything. They have no identity. They're just bad.
Hopefully he gets another chance somewhere else.
Or, I mean, I don't think Matt Patricia will be here super long. If we want to bring him back as a D coordinator, I wouldn't hate it.
I hope we get at least one more year out of him.
Yeah. Oh, please, Matty. Or maybe he just loves college football and loves being a D coordinator, and that's it.
And just retires here.
Yes, and just says, like, you know what? I get to apply my craft with the best players I can get my hands on every year. That'd be great. All right, that'll do it for this one. I guess real quick, halfway point through the season. Well, we always say this after every game too. Does a win over Illinois increase your hopes for a national championship? And kind of what do you think halfway through the season? Where do we stand?
I think it kind of has to. I mean, it can't hurt the odds after beating a ranked team, covering the spread on the road, plus everything that happened in the landscape. I mean, I saw Oregon being a fierce competitor, especially in the Big Ten championship. I don't see Indiana being that same threat, though.
I might disagree with you there, but go ahead.
It's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm a victim of the brand. I get it, but I cannot picture Indiana football beating us in a meaningful game. But most people probably couldn't picture Indiana beating Oregon.
At Oregon. And
yeah.
they controlled that game. They only got as close to all because of pick six in the second half.
Yeah. But as far as where we stand, I mean, you got to say we're the favorite right now, where our odds got better, or the gap between us and second got bigger after this weekend. This is as far as a betting standpoint goes. So I feel good. I mean, Miami is obviously good. There's a handful of teams, but we're not going to play one of those teams until at least the second round of the playoffs. Maybe the third round, actually. So we're probably only going to have to play two teams that can legitimately beat us, I think, other than Scum.
Yeah, never count that game. Indiana can. Our red zone struggles, I think, are real. I don't think it's just us being flat or whatever. Like, I think it's just something that Heartline has not figured out yet, is how to call plays in the red zone. And like when he calls plays, where they're out on the field doesn't always make sense. Like, he's calling plays that we like the short toss to the shot toss play to the short side after the tight end motion left out of a veer wing setup. He ran that play earlier in the game from like midfield and it didn't work. And then he runs it again at a compressed zone, and of course it doesn't work. And I'm like, what are we doing? That kind of stuff I think is real. They are tough. That game last year, the score was not indicative, I thought, of actually how close the game was. Like, we blew them out, but that was a lot of, punt return for a touchdown. They had snap issues. Now, we did shut down their passing game, but I think our pass defense is actually a little better last year. It doesn't look like it statistically yet, but I think I don't know. Maybe Patricia's got everybody fooled so much that it doesn't matter, but I think that we can be had a little more if you throw the black shoulder stuff, and they like to. And I think both Matthews and IGB could be but it's again, if the refs aren't calling the PIs like they weren't Saturday, good luck scoring against us like without us playing some soft zone coverages to ice you out of a game. The defense, though, it's for real for us. The offense, if we open it up and let Sayin and start going with more 4 wide looks to try and spread people out. I know we love these tight ends, but I don't think they're like that good that we have to have 2 of them on the field at all times. I'm not a believer in that. And if we get, maybe Brandon Iskin has a little more in the tank, but I haven't seen it yet. And I haven't seen his whole career here. I'd like to see Miley Graham get in there. If that can unlock some new levels, which maybe we're just holding it back, then I think we coast to a title with this defense because they're tough. But Indiana, I don't think it's a shoe-in. I think their quarterback is better than last year because he's more mobile, although he doesn't always make like as good a decision as Rourke. And the rest of their guys are pretty much back. Like they're pretty much the same team that gave us from a yardage perspective. It was a pretty close game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say I think it's a shoe-in. I mean, they are the freaking number 3 team in the country right now. So it can't, but I still think we would be at least, I think we'd be a touchdown favorite on a neutral field against them.
Yeah. I mean, and they blasted this Illinois team that didn't really give us a great game, but they still just absolutely blew their doors off.
That's a fair point. I mean, I knew it was impossible to beat them that bad. So many things went wrong.
That was like us versus Wisconsin in that Big Ten championship. Everything went right for us. Everything went wrong for them.
Yeah.
We play that game again. We win by 17, not 59.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely legit, and they make me a little nervous, but I still don't. Yeah. They don't worry me like the Scum game does, or like Miami would worry me more than Indiana right now.
Yeah. If Ole Miss can pull this off against Georgia, I'll be a little more worried about them as being legit because Lane is a very good offensive coordinator. There's no teams out there that really worry me. Like the coaches you're talking about playing against are not ones that are better than Ryan Day.
No. I mean, there's only
maybe Signetti because what he's doing is crazy for Indiana.
That is true. He's you got to take him serious. But I mean, how many coaches out there, period, are there better than Ryan Day? There's only 1 or 2.
Well, there's only 1 or 2 that even won a title that are still out there right now. And one of them is Dabo, and he ain't better than Ryan Day anymore.
No.
All right. That'll do it for this podcast, though. Moving on. Buckeyes win comfortably. Buckeyes are going to win comfortably again and then go into that stupid second bye. Another podcast, we discussed how to fix the college football playoff and get it done earlier because of this stupid portal nonsense that's going on during the playoffs. And one of them is getting rid of this second bye that I don't think we need anymore. But for the Direwolf, I'm just Matt. This is The View from CDEC. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us why we're wrong for being so optimistic about these championships. But if you're a Buckeye fan, you should be optimistic too. Don't be one of those guys that's permanently just miserable like the Haas sometimes. But we will see you guys next time.
Hey guys! Whoa, big gulps, huh? All right. Well, see you later.